Welcome back to ELA Bootcamp students. Thanks for watching our videos to brush up on your grammar and writing knowledge. So we're still exploring sentences in this video, and we're going to go ahead and look this time at a little more advanced technique. So we've been through on our roadmap the following: sentence parts, types and punctuation marks, fragments and run-ons, and we are now up to compound sentences and complex sentences, and we're also going to touch on conjunctions and transitions a little bit. Let's jump into it. So if you've been watching the other videos, you know we've talked about compound sentences. As a review, we mentioned them as a way to fix a run-on. Compound sentences contain more than one idea, like many run-ons do. They need punctuation and what we call a coordinating conjunction. If you think of what a coordinator does, he or she is in charge of running and managing and putting things in the proper place, guiding things. That's what these conjunctions do. So we use a coordinating conjunction to form a junction or a joining of these ideas. If you're thinking, I don't know what that grammar means, don't even worry about it. There's not that many. We remember the acronym fanboys, for and nor, but, or, yet, so. Those are all your coordinators. So if you could remember fanboys, dig a little deeper and memorize this, or maybe you remember it from middle school, and now you will be able to write a compound sentence. Now, when we write this, we will often need a comma for a pause, and that comes right before this conjunction, but we'll see that in examples. So you'll use these simple conjunctions to form your basic compound sentences and improve your writing and increase your fluency so every sentence isn't robotic, copy, paste, same length, okay? So more advanced coordinating conjunctions, or subordinating conjunctions like although, can function as what we call transitional words. We'll use them in complex sentences. For now, we're just focusing on compound sentences and coordinating conjunctions. Check out some examples. Rebecca walked to the market and bought 3 loaves of bread. The comma here, I would argue, we might want to take it out. It's not that big a pause, but we put it in just for emphasis to show this point of where we would separate the two sentences if I wanted to put a period here, drop the word and then I could say something like, and she additionally she bought. But that's so wordy, it's so much simpler just to use the compound sentence here. So and shows addition or continuation of an idea. Look at the next one. She did not cheat on the test, for it was the wrong thing to do. For serves the same function as the subordinating conjunction because. I might use the word because honestly, who talks like this? Looking at your next example. When we see, I really need to go to work, but I am too sick to drive, but is like the conjunction however. It shows a change or a contrast. I want to go to work, too sick to drive though, can't do it. I am counting my calories, yet I really want dessert. This is somewhat similar to but. Notice we have the comma for the pause because we're introducing contrasting ideas. So you want your reader as you write to understand to break for a second and then process more information. So punctuation here is very important. He ran out of money, so he had to stop playing poker. So we could use as a stronger word, therefore, but they both show kind of a cause and effect relationship. On the bottom, we used and again. They got there early, and they got really good seats. That's an example especially of how we could say two sentences. They got there early, period. They got really good seats, period. This is a boring way to write, period. So to avoid that boring sounding writing that's very stilted and very clunky, we use these compound sentences, okay? Watch your punctuation, memorize your fanboys coordinating conjunctions. Let's go to complex sentences. So these are the more advanced type of writing that you want to use. They join ideas together logically, and they use these other conjunctions, these subordinators or transitional phrases, to string together ideas for cause and effect or emphasis, continuation, and other points. Subordinated conjunctions are not always transitions. I know that's going to sound weird because they are, but hear me out. Transitions, when we think of a transitional phrase, is usually several words. A subordinated conjunction could be a word like although or because. So we'll use them together. They're in the same family, but if you're a real snippy, stickler for grammar, somebody could point out that they're technically not identical, but we're not going to get too technical, are we? Let's keep going. Here are some examples. Because my coffee was too cold, I heated it in the microwave. So in these examples, I underline the second idea that's being expressed, and I'm leaving the transition or the subordinating conjunction that makes this complex in red with the first part. So the first idea is my coffee was too cold. I heated it in the microwave. I string them together with a comma for a pause and the cause and effect word, because. Look at the next one. Although he was wealthy, he was still unhappy. This subordinator is an exception. It shows a contrast. She returned the computer after she noticed it was damaged. That's just showing sequence, Because I had to catch the train, and as we were short on time, ooh, that one uses two. I had to catch the train, and we were short on time. I forgot to pack my toothbrush for our vacation. So more cause and effect here. As she was bright and ambitious, she became a manager in no time, cause and effect. Wherever you go, you can always find beauty. That one's a little trickier. The wherever is functioning a little different from the other examples, but it works. Evergreen trees are a symbol of fertility because they do not die in the winter. I actually left that out from the red highlighting because it just flows well. It really is just a great simple sentence that fulfills the complex requirement. I'd love to see you doing more like this guy. As a result of his research, the scientists arrived at a new conclusion, cause and effect again. Okay? So when we write, I'd like you to challenge yourself to avoid very clunky, repetitive structure, simple sentences. Please push yourself to compose compound sentences and even complex sentences with transitional phrases. All right? Not too bad. When should I not use these sentence types? He just said we should push ourselves to use them. In narrative writing, you may not want to. Writing encourages us to express ideas. However, when you're writing with a specific voice and style, your choice may come into play. So for example, when we want to emphasize a mood or the emotion the reader has, or the tone, the voice of the narrator, then you might use short, choppy sentences to achieve this effect better. So to be clear, I wouldn't recommend this for an essay, but if you're writing a story where you want the reader to feel a feeling, definitely this could be effective. Look at the less effective example. It says, he crept up the stairs and paused because he heard a scraping noise and a low growling. All right. Look at the more effective mood with the short, choppy sentences. He crept up the stairs. Suddenly, he paused. He heard a scraping noise and a low growling. Because I make this more shorter sentence structure, it adds pauses, and those pauses and hesitation let us catch our breath as we wait for the next thing. By stringing them all together, I don't get that effect. So you want to be very selective as a writer depending on the genre you're writing, and you can decide from there how to use these. In our next video, we're going to look at diverse ways to write sentences, also known as sentence variety. Before we do that, one last thing to show you. If you don't remember transitions, folks, they're everywhere. You can find charts like this and I will share with you, but all these phrases you probably have encountered in your years in English class with writing. We'll leave them up and have resources for them in your online binder so you could always keep them in mind. Have a great one. I'll see you guys later.